알프스의 초원입니다. 알프스의 초원은 굉장히 푸르는데 그 푸른 걸 만든 것은 커다란 나무들이 아닙니다. 바로 가늘고 쓰러질 것 같지만 서로 어깨를 맞대고 있는 수많은 풀들이 알프스의 초원을 푸르게 만들고 있습니다. 말똥구리만 굴러도 그 쓰러질 수 있는 풀들이지만은 서로 뭉치니까는 알프스와 같이 그런 푸른 웅장한 환경을 만들 수 있다고 저는 생각했습니다. 그래서 아마 우리 그 미주한의 풀뿌리운동도 그와 같지 않을까 이렇게 생각을 했습니다. 우리의 얼굴은 우리가 갖고 와야 합니다. 또 우리가 가고 싶은 길은 또 우리가 개척해야 합니다. 그리고 우리가 원하는 세상은 우리가 나서서 만들어야 합니다.
Speaking as a panelist about adoptive citizenship at last year's regional seminar and national conference was personally very meaningful for me, and it actually led to me writing my master's degree thesis on the topic. Standing on the steps of the U.S. Capitol building last summer alongside hundreds of other Korean Americans was incredible. And to see the energy and passion of our students as they shared their personal stories and connected them to policy priorities was extremely inspirational. This past January, I was able to go out to Washington, D.C. to join the Korean American Grassroots Conference Leadership Meeting, which really kicked off our 2019 programming. Over the past few months, we have been working hard on this weekend's program in partnership with KHEC, KSA, and many of you in this room. Collaborate and organize and make our voices heard. This weekend's program is one way that we can do so, and again, I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you.
How many of you have taken your U.S. citizenship for granted or forgot about it during the elections? You don't have to raise your hand. But some of us, I believe, have taken it for granted. And recently, I was meeting for lunch with a friend, an immigration attorney. And Thomas, you're an immigration attorney, so you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I was told that up to 40,000 names are on a list to possibly strip away citizenship of people like me who have been naturalized. And I thought, oh my, I'm shocked because there is such a thing as denaturalization.
So let's get involved as much as possible because government and politicians, we actually set not only the policies, but even the budgets. Where are we going to spend that hard-earned taxpayer money? How are we going to be spending it? And why are we spending it, right? So this year, the Washington State Legislature, we invested and we raised a lot of taxes, but we are investing record amounts of money on affordable housing, like Noinatat.
Korean American immigration history grown up to over 116 years. We are in very important period. I believe we are in transition period. Right now, first Korean American generation is majority, but within 20, 30 years later, youngster, you are the one majority of the Korean American. So we are in transition. In track and field, 4x100 meter relay, a tone torch is the essence of the winning the relay. So right now, Korean American community is preparing very smooth, successful baton touch from first Korean American to second, third generation.
Plane with a 1-year-old in her arms. She was traveling from Asia, from a country in Asia, coming several thousand miles away, to the other part of the world across the Pacific. She was extremely excited, but also very scared. And in that moment of time on the plane, as she was writing and holding this child in her arms, she had a lot of hope for this child and for her future and for her family's future. And I share that because that's actually the story of my mom and myself. My father had arrived here to the United States a little before we arrived to the US. And I'm part of that unique 1.5 generation because I came as a baby. And I'm also part of a family that you all might relate to in some ways. Store owners, we were a grocery store. My parents are grocery store owners, and they live in Aberdeen. And I grew up and as a grocery store kid, helping them while they were working 16 hours, 18 hours a day to support me and my brother, my younger brother. Like many Korean Americans in this situation, my brother and I were given a lot of opportunities to, and supported by my parents, to focus on academics, focus on playing in the orchestra or taking a sport. We were also part of Taekwondo and went through all that as well. And so, as I have this particular trajectory as a Korean American, you know, the likely outcome is that we become lawyers or doctors. But in my particular case, my life took an interesting turn. And the turn took place when I attended the University of Washington as an undergraduate student and had the opportunity to spend time and experience the community in the International District. Who has been to the International District, Chinatown area, or know that area? It was there during my time at the University of Washington, I did a work study with a community-based health center that worked to take care of our immigrant and refugee communities, especially from our Asian American communities. And it is during that time I had a deeper appreciation and understanding of Koreans as part of the Asian American Pacific Islander identity. That we, Korean Americans, are part of a bigger family of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Part of that understanding for me came from the fact that during my time in the International District, I learned that Vietnamese women have disproportionately higher levels of breast cancer compared to other communities. We need our Korean American community, our other Asian American communities to come together. We have a situation in this current political environment which is hostile and divisive, that is anti-immigrant, anti-refugee. For example, there is current plans by the administration to eliminate the citizenship application fee waiver.
American Grassroots Conference, we have two big missions. One is we advocate Korean Americans' interests and rights, and second one is that we care about we contribute to the relationship between our mother in South Korea and our current land, U.S. So before I started my presentation, I will show you a really short video clip. It just take 2 minutes, and so that you can.